Ready, Chair, when you are. It's recording.
Fernando, croeso I cyfarfod diochi chi gyd am ddod. Good afternoon and welcome to today's today's licensing committee meeting of Thursday, 26th of October, 2023 at 2 p.m. Agenda item number 1, apologies for absence. All committee members are here, so there are no apologies. Agenda item number 2, declarations of interest. Members are reminded of their personal responsibility to declare any personal prejudicial interest in respect of matters contained in this agenda in accordance with the provisions of the Local Government and Finance Act 1992 relating to council tax, the Local Government Act 2000, the Council's Constitution and the Members' Code of Conduct. Are there any members who wish to make a declaration of interest? Okay, nobody's indicating. Thank you very much. Agenda item number 3, application to review a premises licence. Mr. Brown, 1 Cross Street, Aberfan, Merthyr Tydfil, to consider a report of the Deputy Chief Executive. The report author is Matthew Herbert, and I believe Matthew will give a brief summary of the report.
Thank you, Chair. On the 12th of September 2023, an application to review the premises licence for M Brown was made by the Council's Trade and Standards Department on the grounds of failure to promote the licensing objectives, namely the prevention of crime and disorder and the protection of children from harm. Please see Appendix 1 of the report for a copy of the full review application. In accordance with procedure, South Wales Fire Service, the Local Health Board and the Council's Public Health Training Standards, Planning, Children's Safeguarding Unit and Licensing Section were consulted on the application. An advertisement was placed in the council offices and notices were displayed at the premises and on the council's website in respect of the application. During the 28-day consultation period, representations were received from the Children's Safeguarding Team, South Wales Police and the Licensing Authority. Please see Appendix 2 for details of the representations. During the 28-day consultation period, the premises licence holder, Mr. Malcolm Brown, submitted a letter and supporting documents. These are attached as Appendix 3 of the report. The premises licence for 1 Cross Street, Aberfan, was first granted in November 2005. Mr. Malcolm Brown has been the premises licence holder since July 2006 and the designated premises supervisor since August 2006. A copy of the current premises licence is attached as Appendix 4. In determining the application, councillors must have regard for the 4 licensing objectives on which the Licensing Act 2003 is based. These are the prevention of crime and disorder, public safety, prevention of public nuisance, and the protection of children from harm. Councillors must have consideration to the representations and take such steps it considers appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives. The steps are to modify the condition of the licence, to exclude a licensable activity from the scope of the licence, to remove the designated premises supervisor, to suspend the licence for a period not exceeding 3 months, or to revoke the licence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I go to PC Steve Mosley if you want to add anything. Yeah. Fine.
One thing, I think, you've given the list of potential says here steps that the committee could take.
Yeah.
Isn't one of them to take no action at all? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. The reason that Trade and Standards have called this review is because on the 1st of November, we conducted a test purchase operation for cigarettes on this particular day, and a packet of 20 players JPS cigarettes were sold to our 15-year-old male test purchase volunteer from this premises known as the Corner Shop, run by Malcolm Brown. Following on from this, on the 14th of May 2023, Malcolm Brown pleaded guilty to the offence at court and was fined £273, which was a reduced fine for an early guilty plea, and ordered to pay costs of £260 and £109 victim surcharge. Now, as a result of this, Trading Standards assessed the premises licence to ensure that future sales, age-restricted sales to those under 18 couldn't take place and the correct controls were there. The reason why we do this is that even though the sale was for cigarettes, in shop premises, age-restricted sales for any item are approached exactly the same way. So we would expect the same procedures to have been in place for alcohol. Okay, after the assessment of the licence, we found that there were only the mandatory conditions on there and there were no controls relating to underage sales. And it's for this reason then we made the decision to make the review application. During our investigation as well, as part of the sale, it was established from Malcolm Brown that staff received on-the-job training, but he did admit the staff may have slipped into bad habits because he had taken a step back due to ill health. There was signage at the shop and a till system to prompt for those over to challenge 25, and there were signs for challenge 21, which would have been quite confusing for staff. There were no refusals being monitored at the premise and the book had gone missing. Since the sale took place, Malcolm Brown did tell us that he had made changes to practices. He reintroduced a refusals book and had placed signage for staff on the till as a reminder, and had retrained the member of staff who had made the sale. Now, I have noted that in his response to the letter, Malcolm Brown has stated that the 15-year-old boy he stated was almost 6 foot tall and could easily pass for an individual of 18 and was entrapment. And he has shown images to several individuals, who these individuals are, I don't know, who agreed with this. I just want to clarify to the councillors that when we use these test purchase volunteers, we select youths that do look representative of their age group, because the whole purpose of the test is to do a true test to make sure that the shops are checking correctly for ID and operating as well as possible. The purpose of the test purchase operations isn't to catch businesses out. It is just a genuine test to find out if they do have the correct processes and procedures in place. I'd also like to clarify that during interview under caution, Mr. Brown said that he viewed the CCTV of the sale and that his shop assistant was gossiping and didn't even look at the lad when she made the sale. So she wouldn't have seen what he looked like. And he also accepted an interview that he would not have sold him anything and he would have asked for ID. Okay. Now, as you can see on the application, we have asked for, we have recommended conditions be attached to the licence. These include a detailed challenge 25 condition, that the refusals register is used, and on staff training and refresher training. We don't feel these conditions are onerous or costly or would be unreasonable for the premise licence holder to have in place. And we do feel that it is proportionate and it would help to reduce the likelihood of any future underage sales of alcohol, vapes, cigarettes, whatever items they sell taking place at this premises. Okay, that's everything.
Thank you very much, Amy. I'm going to go on to PC Steve Mosley first, and then we'll go to questions after.
Good morning, Chair, Committee and all persons present. I'm here representing South Wales Police as licensing officer in relation to the review of the premises licence of Malcolm Brown's in Aberfan. My role is to work in partnership with multi-agencies to ensure licensing objectives are adhered to with licensed premises. As Amy sort of made, you provided an account of the test sales purchase. I could confirm that on that particular day, I was the witness to the test purchase. And, in my personal opinion, the test purchase or the volunteer did not look, over the required age. Granted, he was, he is tall in stature, but his facial features did not look as if they would be over the age required to purchase cigarettes.
Okay, thank you, PC Mosley. I'm going to open it up for questions to the committee because it's disappointing.
Is a representation from the licensing section itself in this case. So Joe was.
Joanne?
Thank you, Chair. Just give a quick summary of our representation. So my representations are on behalf of the Licensing Authority as a responsible authority. The Licensing Department fully supports the review application that has been brought by Trading Standards. The ability of children to access age-restricted products undermines the licensing objectives of the protection of children from harm and the prevention of crime and disorder, both of which the premises licence and DPS, Mr. Malcolm Brown, should be promoting. There is a mandatory condition on the premises licence that requires an age verification policy to be in place and operated, as well as the production of ID. It is clear from the information uncovered by Trading Standards as part of their investigation that there was no clear age verification policy in place at this premises for any age-restricted product. The facts outlined in the review application also clearly identify shortcomings in relation to maintaining staff training, and it is also concerning that refusals were not being recorded in a register. Paragraphs 10.46 to 10.49 of the statutory guidance cover age verifications, and these are outlined in my written representations in the report. It is clear from the information contained within the review application that the premises licence holder in DPS was not meeting those requirements. Due to the lack of robust procedures in place, the ability of minors to purchase age-restricted products at this premises was very concerning. It is encouraging that some steps have been taken since the test purchase to start improving processes. However, having had sight of Mr. Brown's written submissions, as well as the email advising he wasn't attending today's hearing, I do have concerns that he's failing to see the seriousness of the situation. Members must take such steps as they consider appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives, and the steps available are outlined in the committee report. However, should members be minded to add conditions to the premises licence, then the licensing department would support those that are recommended by Trading Standards. Thank you, Chair.
Lovely, thank you, Joanne. Before I go on to questions, I think the council solicitor is going to read out the representation made by Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I think it's important because this is a public meeting and it's being recorded. Mr. Brown is not here today, but he has written into the licensing committee, and obviously his submissions are part of the pack. But if I just go through it briefly, what he says is, as you're aware, I've recently been subject to an ongoing investigation in relation to the sale of restricted item to an underage child by a member of my staff at the corner shop in Aberfan. I have cooperated with the council throughout the investigation and provided all evidence and information that has been requested from me. Pleaded guilty, and I paid a fine of £650. As far as I was aware, the matter was now resolved. I have provided significant evidence demonstrated in the training that my staff received, the processes I have in place to ensure these instances do not happen, and further steps I have put in place to raise awareness of the sale of restricted items to underage individuals. I've now been advised by Amy Cordinley, Trading Standards, that they are now looking to apply to review my premises licence. The application states that it is the opinion of the Trading Standards Service that I do not have sufficient and robust procedures in place to protect children from harm and to stop them from obtaining age-restricted goods from the premises. I strongly disagree with this and I wish to raise my objection. I include evidence from some of the procedures I have in place along with what's set out below. He then refers to a test purchase certificate from Camelot, Presumably that's in relation to the lottery. Pass for refusing the sale of lottery scratch card to an underage individual. Till prompt of EPOS, till which asks for proof of age on sale of restricted product. I can confirm that when training is completed with all members of staff, the till prompt is covered and demonstrated. Due to the number of restricted items sold, staff are fully aware of this process. I also provided refresher training in this every quarter. He also refers to a copy of a refusal log, character letters from regular customers confirming the above processes are adhered to and they have not witnessed the sale to underage, signage around the premises warning of the sale of restricted items to underage individuals, and this is visible to staff and customers. I'd also like to raise that I have been the owner of this business for close to 18 years, and this is the first and only instance such an offence has taken place. I can confirm that there has never been a time when the police have had to attend my premises or any complaints raised by customers. I understand the process and the procedures need to be followed as mentioned. I have complied throughout the investigation, admitted liability on behalf of my staff member that the committee that committed the offence, but feel myself and my business continue to be victimised. This is where he goes on about the volunteer. I also believe that the offence test was not completed fairly and correctly. The use of a 15-year-old boy who was almost 6 foot tall could easily pass for an individual of 18 years and was entrapment. I have shown the images to several individuals who also agree with this. Due to the above, I wish to object to the application to my review my licence. And he said, I look forward to hearing from you. Then he attaches an email from somebody called Sean Hodgkinson, yeah, and she says, to whom it may concern, I'm a resident of Aberfan and have been using the corner shop at 1 Cross Street, Aberfan for as long as I can remember. To label the shop and its employees as unsafe to children for what looks like a genuine mistake made by one of his staff is, in my view, disgusting. There was obviously a good reason for this mistake, i.e. the shop can become really busy on times, and this was probably down to the staff having to rush to prevent queuing up of customers. As for making the owner display a sign in the window of the shop, I also find really no need to label someone unsafe to children. After all, you wouldn't make a paedophile wear a badge, a label saying unsafe or danger to children. I understand that you have to uphold the law, but as I said, this situation really seems to have been a genuine mistake. And I, for one, like many others in the village, don't see Mr. Brown or staff of this well-loved shop as unsafe or a threat to children, and will continue to use the shop as I see fit. There's another letter now from somebody that says, I have known Malcolm 15 years and have been shopping there for all that time. Within that 15 years, I was a single parent with 2 young children and I really struggled. I had my money once a fortnight and just wasn't coping. With the help and kindness of Malcolm, he allowed me to have groceries, food until I had my money the week after. And that continued for years. Without the help of Malcolm, I don't know myself and my 2 children would have managed. And for that, I will forever be grateful to him. In 15 years of going to the shop, I've never seen any one of items underage. I have been in the shop a number of times and witnessed customers being asked for identification and have been refused if they can't produce it. I've never seen anyone getting served items underage. Also, no one has seen any trouble in the shop or the presence of police. And he then attaches his certificate from Camelot, refusals log there. These are the things I refer to further in the letter, which are part of the appendices to this report. So that's the submissions of Mr. Brown. You've obviously heard what Amy says about the individual who carried out test purchase. Obviously, Steve Mosley has confirmed, in his view, the individual didn't look the correct age for the restricted products. And also some of the things that are said there aren't really relevant in relation to this, but I thought I'd read them out just to have a full picture for the recording chair. So that's Mr. Brown's position in this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Simon. Unfortunately, Mr. Brown's not here today, but he has given an email of representation. Did you want to read that out as well?
That as well, Chair. This came in on the 18th of October. He says he will not be attending due to other commitments. I have sent the forms you sent me together with my objections about this review. That's what I've just read. Also letters of some of my customers that I do not intentionally serve underage customers. On a pack of cigarettes, I make less than £1 profit. Why would I intentionally sell to underage? I've been to court and fined £650. Don't you think this is punishment enough? Yours, Malcolm Brown.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Simon. I'm going to open it up for questions from the committee, and I believe Councillor Malcolm Coleman has got questions.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I think the first one's for Joe, really. If this was a new premises application rather than an existing one, would we put challenge 25 rather than challenge 21?
It would depend on what whoever's requested those conditions as requested. Challenge 25 obviously is a higher policy. We have got other premises with challenge 21. It would depend on what normally the police, if it was a new application that's come to committee, have requested.
Or is it more normal that we do challenge 25 rather than challenge 21 nowadays?
It does tend to be the norm nowadays, yeah.
Thank you. Question for Amy. The person that did the test purchase was 15, but the shopkeeper said that due to his physical appearance, he could have passed for 18, but they had a challenge 21 policy in place anyway. So I'm taking it that although perhaps there's a vague possibility he could have passed for 18, he wouldn't have been able to pass for 21, so should have been challenged on that basis.
Yes, I'd also clarify as well, the signage said challenge 21 in the shop, but Malcolm Brown's till prompt system says challenge 25.
Right, so in that case, you'd expect the till prompt to ask the person if they thought they were under 25, which clearly this test purchaser wasn't.
Yes, that would be correct.
Lovely, thank you. Amy, obviously, £642 is a big fine from for the gentleman, but he seems to be very combative, to be honest. He's not here today, and he says in his representation, bear with me now, due to the above, I wish to object to the application to review my license, and this is open to everyone. If he's not here today and he objects to this going ahead, obviously, and he doesn't then agree if the committee does put anything in place, what happens?
But he doesn't have the ability to object to a review coming in. You know, I mean, that's not within his gift. You know, I mean, it's the police or trading standards or environmental health. They'd be the ones that will apply for review. It's not for somebody to say I object to that review being made. I think what he's saying, I think he's probably seen what could potentially come from a review, and I think personally, I think he's just saying he doesn't want those things to happen to his license, i.e. the DPS being changed, or you've seen the list that we've got there. So he hasn't got the power to say this shouldn't go ahead. It is going ahead. He's not here. He knows it's going ahead, and he's written in. We've got his submissions. I'm not sure how much more he could give over and above that. I think you have enough information to make a decision today. I'd say that you know, I mean, when we deliberate, we'll take everything into account, Chair.
You would have an appeal to the Magistrates Court if he didn't agree with your decision, yeah.
Could I just clarify as well? The purpose of the application for the review is not to punish Mr. Brown. It is to protect children from harm, to try and ensure that the processes that we've recommended and which, according to his letter, he says he is now doing anyway, continue in the future. So there's a legal obligation on him because he's admitted that things have slipped in the shop, and it's just to ensure it doesn't slip again and to ensure that this kind of sale cannot happen again at his store.
Thank you, Amy. Just in relation to one thing, Mr. Brown said that, I just want to clarify it. Mr. Brown said that he's been fined £642 at the court, and then he doesn't understand why it's now come to Merthyr Council. But I believe is it 2003, 2004, round about that time, that licensing switched from the courts to the council?
Yeah, it was when the Licensing Act came in 2003. Prior to that, the courts were the licensing body, and it came to the council then. Yes, you're right, Chair.
Lovely. Thank you, Simon. Just to clarify this. Councillor Malcolm Colbreth.
Yeah, thanks, Ken Chair. Yeah, Amy, going back to what you just said, if we were to impose the conditions that trading standards are asking for, would you say that not only would that go further in protecting children from harm, it would actually be a benefit and a protection to Mr. Brown to make it more easier for him to follow the procedure and not find himself in this situation again?
Yes, that's correct. We don't just do test purchasing. We do give business advice for age restricted sales. And one of the main pieces of advice we always give the licensees is to record training and to get staff to sign to say that they've been trained, to keep refusals registers, and to have a good level of challenge to catch the borderline children. And the purpose of this, we always advise them, is to protect themselves because then they can demonstrate due diligence. Now, this isn't the only sale we've had, but what I can confirm is when we do our investigations after a sale, not everyone ends up in court. Where we do investigations and is found the business has actually fulfilled all due diligence, they've done everything in their power, but the member of staff has made the sale anyway and not followed procedure. In those cases, we do not prosecute because we do not feel that it is necessary or fair. We only prosecute when we have found that there has been failings at the shop actually to protect children and to stop the sale happening.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, everyone. I know I don't have any questions. Do any other members have any questions? No. I think we'll suspend the meeting for deliberations. Simon, did you want to add anything there? No. Okay. So I'll ask Matthew and Democratic to stop recording at this time, please.